in yoga practice. Similarly, we need to learn the psychology. Before learning the meditation, we must learn the psychology. This is called science of mind. Before learning the psychology, if you enter into meditation, that meditation will not be so effective, so safe, so fruitful also.
Mm.
So the science says that with less efforts, in less time, let us gain more results.
Mhm.
And how it happens? Being very scientific and being very proactive also, proactive in application. Knowledge is not enough. Application is something which makes the difference. The same rule, the same law, the same fact is in yoga and also in meditation also,
Mhm.
right? Not the knowledge, but the application. And how we apply, if we remember, if we remember, if that is in our head, if that is in our memory, if
Mm.
anatomical and physiological knowledge is not in memory, then you will not apply while practicing yoga. At least the fundamental knowledge, at least the basic knowledges, the basic rules and laws of anatomy and physiological knowledge is very important to remember in mind and to apply in the practice. So also the fundamental, the basic knowledge of psychology, the mind system will have to keep in our mind while approaching the mind.
Yeah.
Physical world is easy to perceive because this is very visible, but mental world is very, very difficult. Why? Because this is invisible.
Mhm.
So physical war is easy to defend, is easy to attack and defend, but mental is very, very difficult.
Mhm.
The virtual war, this
Mm.
is invisible things. There, you will have to use the mental eye, not this eye.
Yeah.
And therefore, in meditation, we have to develop, we have to cultivate, we have to activate the mental eye.
Mm.
And how we activate the mental eye? Through, again, certain practices. And that is called the healing process. Healing process. First, we'll have to heal our mind. Yoga is to heal the body. So also meditation is to heal the mind. And vice versa. If your body is healthy, then you can practice yoga effectively.
Mm.
And if you practice yoga effectively, then your bodily health also will be effective or better. So
Mhm.
also if you're mentally, if you are healthier, then only you can practice meditation effectively.
Mhm.
Vice versa. If you practice meditation effectively, then your mental health will be better.
Yeah. Mm.
So the first question, the first thing comes is the health. Health is the goal, health is the beginning, health is the middle, health is the end result. Everyone wants to achieve, right?
Mhm.
Whether through chakra healing or through any kind of healing. In chakra healing, also you use asana, pranayama, meditation, then any other tools, mantra, sound, crystal, aroma, all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
So also in meditation, we practice the healing modalities. And when the subject of healing comes in mental health, for mental health, or in meditation or in psychology, then there's something, some psychological healing which are very popular, which comes in mind and in the picture you may be aware of. right? And there are some psychological healing, psychological treatments which are very popular in the world, and which people can use, which we can use before entering into meditation practice. And the most popular therapeutic modalities in psychological healing are: first is therapy, behavioral therapy,
Mm.
which is classical, and this is called operant conditioning, behavioral therapy. Second is an enhanced or another version of behavioral therapy that's called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, right?
Mhm.
And this is deeply connected with the cognitive psychology. There are different types of psychology. One is called social psychology, other is called the personality psychology, and other is called abnormal psychology, you know, and other is traditional psychology, or the develop, and other is developmental psychology or evolutionary psychology. Evolutionary psychology. There are different studies of psychology, and they have different healing modalities, therapeutic models. And so far, the psychology which has developed till date, which has these therapies, therapeutic models which are very popular. First is behavioral, second is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, third is humanistic therapy. Humanistic therapy, uh, Carl Rogers, Carl Rogers discovered this.
Sorry, what is it called, Guruji? You cut out then because of the reception. What therapy was that?
First was behavioral therapy,
Yeah,
behavioral. Second
yeah.
was cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
CBT.
yeah.
And third is humanistic therapy.
Humanistic.
Yeah, humanistic.
Thanks.
And fourth is psychoanalytic therapy,
Okay.
which was developed by Sigmund Freud,
Yeah.
right? Where he used to analyze dreams. Although there were some setbacks, there were some, uh, things which people had criticized of Sigmund Freud. But
Yeah.
yes, that is also popular. And none of them is ideal, I would say. Every therapy, every therapeutic model has some pros and cons. So
Yeah.
I'm just discussing that. And next is transpersonal psychology. There, psychologists integrate some spiritual aspects. This is called transpersonal psychology. And next psychological therapeutic model is called somatic therapy. There, they use body-based psychotherapeutical techniques.
Mhm.
It's called somatic,
Yeah.
like yoga,
Breathe in and yeah.
breath,
Yeah.
and all the sound healing and all these,
Mm-hmm.
Reiki, Ayurveda, all these are called somatic therapy. But in Western psychology, I don't know if they use these things, but they use different physiological, therapies,
Yeah.
relaxation or excursion, different things,
Mm-hmm.
going into the nature, etc., etc. What Lina was talking yesterday, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That tremendously heals. Next is ACT. ACT is called acceptance and commitment therapy. And in clinical psychological treatments, in ACT, they apply mindfulness and behavioral changes.
Mm.
Mindfulness and behavioral changes. And right from the inception and conception of Western psychology, which happened in 700 BCE, you know, 700 BC. The father of Western psychology was Thales. Thales. And he he began the scientific uh, therapy, the scientific analysis of mind. Thales, he is believed to be born in 624 to 620 BCE, before Christ,
Yeah.
even before Buddha also, Thales.
Yes.
And he was the one who was very rational, very scientific, and he challenged the orthodoxical understanding about the mind, about the spirituality. So he was the one who began the thinking process about the mind, about the life, about healing, about everything.
Ah, didn't know that. Okay.
And he was born in Greece.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
So they have greater contributions. In the ancient Greece, he started from Thales to Anaximander, then Pythagoras, then Heraclitus, then Democritus, then Socrates,
Yeah. Okay.
then Plato, Aristotle, okay, and then came different personalities, Chrysippus, Lucretius, Galen, and then Saint Augustine. He also gave the contribution in this psychology. So later on, they were born, and Thomas Aquinas, they were in middle age. And in 17th century, after the Christ, that was more evolved. Psychology was more evolved. Then Rene Descartes, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, they also discovered new things. They also added the new things. And in 18th century, George Berkeley, David Hume, then Immanuel Kant also added new things into this psychology. And Immanuel Kant, when he was a professor in the university, Arthur Schopenhauer was also the faculty in the same university. And he was influenced from Immanuel Kant. Arthur Schopenhauer was influenced by him. Although they have differences in opinions, but Arthur Schopenhauer was a revolutionary, and he gave new things into that. And after him, Herbert Spencer, then Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche is also a personality who also added the value in this. And in modern psychology, you find after Friedrich Nietzsche, Gustav Fechner, he also came into this, list. And Friedrich Nietzsche influenced this world. And after him, James Cattell, William Wundt, Francis Galton, they also added. And Sigmund Freud also came into picture, and he also added the new things. What you call psychoanalysis was given by Sigmund Freud. What you call unconscious mind, this concept was given by Sigmund Freud, right? So he had also some differences in opinions with his teacher, and he also added some new thing into that. But he was also criticized by the people. He was also banned by then government, and he also, affected negatively his friend's health by using, cocaine.
Okay.
He applied cocaine, and he thought that cocaine heals. Later on, that was banned.
Yeah.
Right? because scientists found its negative impact on the neuro health. So that was how psychology evolved. And Sigmund Freud's daughter, Anna Freud, she was also a psychologist. And the disciple of Sigmund Freud, whose name was Carl Jung.
Oh, yeah.
Carl Jung and Alfred Adler. Alfred Adler was American, right? And Sigmund Freud got recognition in United States when he moved from, his country to United States. Then he developed a society, new society, and lots of people joined him, like Alfred Adler, Carl Jung. They joined them. Although later on, Carl Jung went on different path. He gave new theories. So that was how psychology developed. And later on, John B. Watson and Edward Thorndike, they also gave a new psychology that is called behaviorism, behavioral therapy, what you call behavioral therapy. So that was developed by, firstly, Ivan Pavlov. And later on, there was Gestalt psychology. Gestalt psychology developed by Max Wertheimer. And then that went on for several decades. And later on, a new psychology was developed that was called evolutionary psychology. Jean Piaget, who worked on the children mind, children psychology, and they gave new theories. So these are the scientists, psychologists who added. Then later on, Carl Rogers, he gave humanist psychology, human psychology. And there were three personalities who added contribution in this psychology. And then later on, there was cognitive psychology. There was a revolution in cognitive psychology. And there in cognitive psychology, they also gave a new philosophy. And in cognitive psychology, there are different, what you call formulas, and one is SPAM. One formula, this is abbreviation, SPAM. Yeah, SPAM is sense. S stands for sense.
Yeah.
Sense, whatever you sense through eyes, ears, nostrils, all these senses. Then second is P. P stands for perception. And A stands for attention or analysis. You analyze that, you process that. Whatever you sense, you use your perception power, and then you analyze that, you process that. And when you find that this is the most significant thing, then you take that in your memory.
Okay, yes.
It's called memory, SPAM. Okay? And whatever goes in your memory, that only you use in your decision making. Decision making, right? That's why I emphasize that memorize, don't depend on the books.
Yeah, no, I know, because I was just like, oh, but it's funny because when you start talking about certain things, I was like, other things popped into my head because it's like, oh yeah, and then you look at the 8 the 8 principles of yoga, and then yamas, why can't I remember the words?
Yamas.
Yamas, so ethical principles and guidelines, so from internal point and external point, and then obviously you get on to the movement asanas, and then it goes on the breathing. So you've got to do all of this stuff, so get your back foundation, right? How you see the world, how you react with the world, and how you react within yourself. So ethical guidelines. Then you do the asanas, and you've got like the pranayamas, and you move on until you get to, and like meditation is right up like number 7 before samadhi. So it's just, you've got to go through all of this. Sorry, and it was just things that like that was popping into my head, but I forgot.
No worries, no worries. So actually, see, cognitive psychology is amazing thing, and I'm writing a book on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm writing in Hindi in our
Yeah,
Indian
yeah,
language, but later on that will be translated into English also.
amazing.
And this book is going to bring a great revolution in this field, in
Yeah,
mind and psychology world,
yeah,
psychological world.
yeah.
And there I will integrate not only Western psychology but Eastern psychology also, what you call yoga
Amazing.
or Vedanta, you know, meditation, and from Indian philosophies also.
Yeah,
So Western philosophy and Eastern philosophy, I will
yeah.
integrate them. So
Okay.
this book is going to be amazing, and there I will reveal lots of secrets, and uh, that is why, based on my deep studies, experiences, experiments, and the evidence-based results,
Mm-hmm.
I teach those things to my students,
Mm-hmm.
and which are very, very scientific, very revolutionary. That will bring a great changes in you at high speed.
Okay, good.
At
Yeah.
high speed. Why? Because that is very scientific, and you know what I have observed, that both are amazing. Western psychology is amazing. Eastern psychology is amazing, and we have to integrate. We should integrate both,
Mm.
and in both approaches, I keep the science in the middle, the
Okay.
logics in the middle,
Yeah.
right? Because anything which is logical, which is scientific, is more effective and more acceptable by the mass.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
And therefore, let us apply this approach that, as I have mentioned in the beginning, that for ideal health, we must have scientific knowledge about our body, what you call anatomy and physiology, biomechanism, for the
Mm-hmm.
physical health. Similarly, for meditation also. For yoga, that knowledge, and for meditation, psychological knowledge, right? And in psychology, I emphasize more on cognitive psychology, which has the, you know, intervention, or the formula is called SPAM,
Mm-hmm.
SPAM, and that will affect your problem solving techniques, problem solving, decision making, problem solving, and this is what people need. This is what the world needs,
Mm-hmm.
and we will become prudent. We'll become master into that when we will apply that SPAM. So whatever you sense through your senses, whatever
Yeah.
you perceive in external world, in internal world, you have to process,
Yeah.
you have to analyze, and after analysis, due analysis,
Mm-hmm.
when we come to conclusion that this is something which you have to take inside the memory.
Yeah. But this is the thing that definitely like gets me, because I absorb it, but then the sticking part, it will come out just as easy. So it is having to, get this embedded, which is great. Yeah, because sense perception, and then it will then go, that's where the attention goes, and then it stores in memory. So yeah, that'd be perfect for me.
Yeah. And I'm going to mention about spam abbreviation also in my this book,
Yeah.
and that is so amazing.
Yeah.
You just remember that word, that abbreviation, and you apply that, and your decision making will be very scientific, very ideal. Will have less what you call cons,
Yeah. Yeah.
less negativities, because you cannot avoid negativity. You cannot avoid the loopholes. Every
No.
scientist, right from Thales to Sigmund Freud, and modern psychologists, they had also some loopholes. They had also some. Later on, that was developed, discovered that yeah, that was not so applicable, so scientific, or that had limitations. So maybe later some new people will come and they will say that yeah, there's something which were lacking, or there's something which need to be added into this also. But
Yeah.
so far, I find spam is very scientific,
Yeah.
very scientific, and that is relevant to my meditation, advanced meditation manual book,
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah.
right? And at the end, I emphasize on the memorize. M stands for memorize. After due observation and analysis, when you find that this is conducive to goodness, this is conducive to the health, this is conducive to the balance, to the longevity, to the peace, mental peace, emotional peace, or wellness, health and wellness, then we accept that and then we take into our deepest layer of the memories.
Mm. Yeah.
Means perpetuation. We have to perpetuate that. We have to perpetuate that. We have to make that permanent. We have to make that ours. We have to make that me.
Yeah.
And in this process, people will need to work hard and smart.
Mhm.
Working hard is not enough, but smart hard works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart works.
Mhm.
And how? Through being very intelligent, through being very deep into the learning and practices in the applications. Right? So that was something I wanted to add in this course with you, to you, and so that we'll make this your advanced meditation course memorable and very fruitful, which
Yeah.
will add a greater value in your professional journey.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that in that way, you will also bear the flag, the light of this knowledge in
Mhm.
your practice. Maybe something new you will discover, something new you will add, something new or adaptable or like that you can also, apply in your practices.
Yeah.
But there are some eternal, eternal laws which are not mine, which are not Eastern or Western, which are universal, right?
Mm.
What in the beginning I had mentioned, universal consciousness, universal mind, universal, you know, what you call existence, the universe itself. Because the universe is so kind. The universe works on the quantum science or scientific, Now the scientists have developed quantum computers, right? Quantum healing, quantum physics, quantum things, which is a revolutionary, you know, attempt and approach. And we have to be very scientific again in our learning and practices. And we have to begin with that preamble, with that overview, and we have to learn everything from this manual book from that perspective.
Mhm.
Even I have taken from Buddha's teachings, from yoga, from Vedanta, from what you call Upanishads, from Yoga Sutras, which is yoga philosophy and Vedanta philosophy. And also I have added some neurological findings also into these studies, so that you will understand, you will comprehend. And again, you will try to use the spam technique,
Yeah.
and you'll try to use the hippocampus. Hippocampus is very helpful in learning whenever you start learning new thing, we have to use our hippocampus. And also prefrontal cortex, PFC. We have to use that. So that will give you clarity.
Yeah.
PFC gives you clarity, right? And we have to keep our amygdala, which is emotional drive, balanced, right?